Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 62 of the Video Games Ahoy podcast. Yay! I am your host, Jonathan Radford, and today I'm joined by the delicious Dav Gape. How's Dav, have you had a haircut?
I have had a trim, yeah.
Yeah, looks really good.
Yeah, I went to a wedding last week.
Oh, nice. Looks. Did you have a haircut on Monday? Did I not notice it on Monday?
You did not notice on Monday.
That's what it was. I'm just bad friend. Just bad friend. That's I can't really.
Not just because of that, but yeah.
Yeah, just no. I mean, that just like adds to the other things that just makes me a bad friend. But yeah, hello to everyone in the chat. It's WrestleMania. Big Al.
Hey,
Got some favorites in there. But yeah, Dav, should we chat about the podcast? Should we have a little chat about the podcast? I imagine quite a lot of you have seen us before or listened to us before, which is lovely. My phone is being a dick. Let me turn that off a sec. But if you haven't, every time. But if you haven't, then hello, we have Video Games Ahoy. We do this weekly podcast on a Thursday night, which is live over on Twitch if you're listening to us on a podcast. Or watching us on YouTube on the Friday morning, because that's when it all goes out. But otherwise, we do these live on a Thursday. And you know what? I'm so glad we did them live. I was saying to Zach last week that it's just nice. It's just nice.
It was a revelation, wasn't it?
Yeah, we did it once for that 50th anniversary, and ever since we've been like, you know what?
50th anniversary.
50th anniversary episode. 50th anniversary would be something. I mean, I'd be at least 140, because that's, you know, I'm old.
You're 19 now.
I'm just old. But yeah, if you want to, like I said, if you want to catch us, we're on all the podcast hosting places. We're on YouTube as well. You can go back and watch the episodes on Twitch if you'd like to. On top of that, we have a Discord. Link is in the description. We have a few other things as well. Ooh, I think we've frozen. Hang on, let me unfreeze us a sec. There we are, we're back! Hi everyone.
Hello.
Dav is quiet. Is Dav better now?
How about now?
Oh god, you're very loud. Delicious. Give us a delicious rating. Give us what is the most delicious thing? Maybe butter. Butter's pretty good. But
I don't know if it's delicious. You can't just like eat it with a spoon, can you?
I don't know. I mean, butter makes everything so much nicer, I would say.
Things are just vehicles for butter.
Yeah.
Salt might be the most delicious thing.
Salt is pretty good.
It's good on its own, and it makes everything else taste better.
I think we found maybe our next podcast. The next
Salted
podcast.
butter
Salted
podcast.
butter Biscoff spread.
Yeah.
That is a shout. Biscoff spread.
Oh yeah.
Discovering that Biscoff is also vegan as well was like a mind-blowing thing for me. I was like, I can have these and it doesn't have butter? Like, this is amazing. Right, I don't even know where I was. I don't know what I got to. But basically, Discord, YouTube, all those things, in the link in the description. Thank you to everyone that watches, follows, likes, subscribes, all those things. We love you. Should we just get on with the podcast stuff?
Absolutely.
I might have to do a little bit of editing for anyone that is watching this. They'll be wondering what the hell we're talking about. Like, the opening 5 minutes just went to hell.
Don't watch live. Just listen to it on Spotify or whatever, or watch
yeah.
it on YouTube. It'll be much better.
Yeah. You'll get on that. All right. So the first thing we'll talk about is something we spoke about last week, very briefly to start off with, and it's obviously very serious. But I just again wanted to talk about it again really quickly because there's been I don't want to say positive things that have come from it, but obviously there has been I can't think of the right term, but it's just
Progress?
Progress is probably better than positive, if that makes sense. Anyway, staff at US gaming giant Activision Blizzard have staged a walkout over accusations of sexism and harassment. And in response provided to IGN, employees involved in the walkout have stated that Kotick's response, that's Bobby Kotick is the CEO of Activision, massive douchebag, by the way, have stated that his response to the legal action against the company doesn't address the demands previously made. They basically come down to 4 things they were saying. They want the end of forced arbitration for all employees, worker participation in oversight of hiring and promotion policies, the need for greater pay transparency to ensure equality, and employee selection of a third party to audit HR and other company processes. I think the biggest thing is just how shockingly bad HR was in that whole situation, by the way. It really, really reflects the whole situation reflects badly on them, but like HR is supposed to be there to support and to stop this from happening. The fact that they just flat out enabled it is disgraceful. But anyway, they've got a little quote here that I think is really important to read out. So it's, today's walkout will demonstrate that this is not a one-time event that our leaders can ignore. We will not return to silence. We will not be placated by the same processes that led us to this point. This is the beginning of an enduring movement in favour of better labour conditions for all employees, especially women, in particular women of colour and transgender women, non-binary people and other marginalised groups. I think that sums it up eloquently, better than I ever could. And yeah, I just wanted to say that. I just throw support behind that whole situation, like the whole movement, you know what I mean? It's
and there's even more coming out like every other day. So
God, man,
folks, go on Twitter. You'll find plenty of links. Stuff about like the Cosby Suite stuff is just horrible. And just look it up. You'll know more about it. It's just not good.
Yeah,
not good at all.
I think
anyway.
Like the I'm not, again, like I said earlier. It's not. I think you put it right. Progress. It's not positive. It's progress. At least there's things like this that are coming up now. If they're trying to enforce change, which is really good, because ultimately we want to play good games. We don't want people to be working in conditions where they're going through this, because this is ridiculous. No one should ever have to go through this. So
nothing is worth more than the safety of humans.
And and I actually read earlier that Ubisoft have done this. Like a lot of people working at Ubisoft have done a very similar thing. Not so much in the terms of the walkout, but they've actually, I think they signed a letter along with the Activision people as well, which is really good, because, I say really good, but Activision as well, another terrible company. I remember last year they had very similar accusations.
Ubisoft,
Yeah, which is really sad, because it seems like something that is a big problem with gaming, and it's not something that we should ignore. Anyway, I just thought I'd start that off by talking about that, and we can just say, completely support everything that's happening.
I think it's good to bring it up because, we have, and we'll be doing this on Twitch, and we're also on YouTube and podcasts and whatever, but we are, in theory, public-ish figures, right? So we're doing this live to the world. We have a responsibility, as does everyone watching, listening, anyone who communicates on a multiplayer game. Everyone has a responsibility, a social responsibility, to treat others with the respect that they deserve.
Yep.
And we need to be bringing this stuff up and talking about it to make sure that these things don't go unnoticed.
Yeah, completely, 100%. Yeah, just completely agree. Right, should we move on to actual positive stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, because I think it's good that we've spoken about that, but let's move on to some actual positive stuff. So PlayStation 5, we'll talk about two consoles having their best ever debut, I guess. PlayStation 5 is Sony's fastest selling games console after surpassing 10 million sales worldwide. The new console reached the figure on July 18th, just under a month faster than the PlayStation 4 managed. Other sales figures released by Sony includes that Spider-Man Miles Morales has sold over 6.5 million copies since its launch. PS5 exclusives Returnal has exceeded 560,000 copies. And Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart has sold 1.1 million, which is pretty good considering there's only 10 million consoles.
Yeah, I guess you're right, since there's only 10 million, but it just feels like Returnal's getting shafted because it costs £70.
Yeah. If that game was £50, I would have bought it.
Yeah.
The fact that it's £70, no, it's just too expensive. It's too expensive.
But Miles Morales getting like a 65% attach rate. Like 65% of people who've bought a PS5 have bought Spider-Man Miles Morales. That's mad.
Yeah, that's
absolutely mad.
I don't know if that includes the PS4 though, because I think it's on the PS4 as well. So I think
and MLB The Show sold like 21 million copies, but that's on Xbox.
It's on Xbox, and I think it's on Game Pass as well. Was it on Game Pass? I think it is.
It is on Game Pass.
So I guess it's that's a weird one, because I think the specifics are Returnal and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which still hasn't sold as many as the Wii U. So obviously the Wii U is more successful than the PlayStation 5 as things stand. I think that's fair. I think that's accurate.
No PS5 game has got a remaster yet.
Nope.
The Wii U had loads.
Exactly.
So
it's had so many.
The library of games on the Wii U. And the marketing clearly was superior.
Now can you imagine if the PS5 went the same route as like the Wii U from the Wii? So it would be like the PS4 for you.
Yeah.
It would be as ridiculous as that. But,
for me?
Yeah.
Yes, the PS for you.
PS for you. But yeah, really good. Really good. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to talk about Microsoft because they've actually said the same thing. Microsoft have said that Xbox Series X and S are the company's fastest selling consoles ever. Company CEO Satya Nadella made the claim during the company's fourth quarter earnings on Tuesday. The Xbox Series S and X are our fastest selling consoles ever, with more consoles sold live to date than any previous generation during the same time frame. Which is pretty impressive. I'm trying to get the numbers here. So the Xbox Series X shipments reached 6.5 million, so you kind of have an idea now there. Xbox Series X came out a month before. No, 2 weeks before. 2 weeks before. It wasn't that far apart. And to be fair, it's not selling well in Japan. But considering it's tracking with that as well,
it's always Japan. Japan's the difference between them both.
Yeah, if you add that, then yeah, fair enough. This compares to the estimate of, so that's 6.5 million. This compares to the estimate of 5.7 million for the Xbox One and 5 million for the Xbox 360, which I was quite shocked at. I thought the Xbox 360 would have sold better than the Xbox One, considering it beat the PlayStation 3 by a long time. It was on its own for about a year. It was ridiculous.
Shows how poorly the PS3 started off.
Oh yeah, man. And it's also crazy to show how mad the Xbox 360 trailed off towards the end because they were about the same. I think they're like 85 million each. But yeah, just a quick word on that. I mean, there's a lot of people who still can't get their hands on a PS5. We are both fortunate to have got our hands on one each. Xbox seems to be a lot easier to get. I mean, I didn't struggle at all to get my Xbox.
The Series S.
Series S.
For Series,
yeah. Although saying that, I had many opportunities to get an X before I got it on the one the way that I wanted it. Which was through the which is basically paying for it over like 12 months.
Yeah. So
yeah, it was pretty good. I'm so glad I got both. I am definitely playing my Series X more than my PS5 now, and that's purely that is down to Game Pass. Ultimately, that is entirely down to Game Pass because we'll get on to the games that PS5 has been releasing recently. I really want to play Ratchet and Clank, but again, I can't justify spending that much money right now.
I'm not paying £70 for a Ratchet and Clank game. I'm sorry.
I'm the same as you, man. The same.
I love. I played the 2016 Ratchet and Clank, and I loved it. I had a great time, but it's a solid 7.0 kind of game.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Rift Apart really takes advantage of the PS5 architecture, etc., etc. And I'm sure it's great, and I really want to play it. But no game to me is worth £70.
Yeah.
And certainly not a game that I know. I don't know, like, Ratchet and Clank games are from a sort of slightly older era, you know? They're not going to be anything groundbreaking. It's just no load screens. That's pretty much what they're selling. Just
add Game Pass. It's awesome. Just download The Ascent. I've been looking at The Ascent. I've been looking at that.
Yeah, it came out today, Jonny.
Yeah, it came out today.
After we finished.
Oh, really? Nice. I literally have been looking at the reviews and stuff. It's reviewed really well. I'm really interested in playing it. It looks really good. But yeah, it wouldn't be an episode of the Video Games Ahoy podcast if we didn't talk about Game Pass. So
Game Pass.
I'll swap Rift Apart for a game with you if you have a disc. He's completed it. That's WrestleMania.
Well, thank you, Reese, but I have a PS5 digital.
Oh yeah, that's an issue. To be fair, there's one game. I tell you what, one game this year which I would have potentially have spent £70 on it, even though I've already played it. That's not Skyward Sword, by the way. That potentially would have been Mass Effect. Only, but then there's 3 games in that. You know, there's 3 games, and they've. I'm not saying. I'm saying the thing with like £70. Is it worth it for you? And that was worth it for me. I could have spent £70 on that. I would have been worth it for me.
Well,
other people completely not.
You get 10% off all EA games with Game Pass.
There we are. Game Pass discount, even more. All right, let's talk about Halo Infinite because the multiplayer technical preview invites have been sent out, and that's going to be from the 29th of July to the 1st of August. Select participants will be able to experience the first bot-focused technical preview. I think there's going to be a preview tonight at 10 p.m. So there's a first look, 10 p.m. UK time. So yeah, 343 will be hosting a first look of the multiplayer technical preview tonight over on YouTube and I think Twitch as well. You going to watch that, Dev?
I'm going to catch up on it. I'm going to a stag do all weekend.
Oh, nice.
But very COVID secure Stag do, I've been assured.
Yeah, everyone's social distanced.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like, do you want to come out? I was like, where?
Yeah.
And with whom? And what are the precautions?
Yeah.
I will definitely be catching up on this. I've seen some screenshots, and they look beautiful.
Yeah.
Just the lighting alone looks incredible. And I'm so excited for Halo Infinite.
Yeah, man, I don't know. I think now, I think what I'm going to try and do is, because we tried playing Halo for a while on multiple Mondays, but we just, because Dav Weeks hasn't got it, we can't. It's not fair on us to be like, right, Dav Weeks, sit this one out. We're going to go play a game together, have lots of fun. So I think maybe I need to start. I think me and you need to finish Halo 2 basically, because me.
Yeah, we'll find some slots to stream that.
Yeah, we need. I think that's basically what I need to do, because I want to try and finish them all before Infinite comes out, because none of them take particularly long. 10 hours, I think we worked out last week each game.
Yeah, it's
roughly about 10 hours, which is pretty fine. But yeah, I am really excited to see some footage. I'm probably not going to watch it live, but yeah, I'll probably pick it up in the morning. But yeah, really excited. Dad, this story is definitely for you, and this story only came out about an hour ago.
Oh, well, what's this then?
New Pokemon Snap is getting more areas and Pokemon in a Pokemon free update. Launching on Tuesday, the 3rd of August, the new update will add 3 new areas in total and 20 new Pokemon, including the likes of Snorlax, Psyduck, Shroomish, Gyarados, and more. And more. I don't know.
Finally, Gyarados! Finally!
I don't know what more the Pokemon is, but
well, I love that Pokemon.
Yeah, more.
It's actually pronounced More.
More, yes. Sorry, More. Yeah, that's
the great thing about... Well, I'm so glad they're finally adding Gyarados, because there are so many Magikarp in that game, and in the original Pokemon Snap, there's a certain Magikarp, and if you hit it with a Pokeball, I can't remember what you do specifically, or an apple, it turns into a Gyarados. Like, oh my god, amazing.
Yeah, Gyarados.
And there are so many Magikarp doing little weird things in different places and whatever, and you try and interact with them all you can, and it's just Magikarp, they just jump higher. And you're like, I can't believe that they didn't think about turning into Gyarados.
Yeah.
Now, what I reckon is that they didn't have time to... Maybe they had a Gyarados thing and it wasn't working, so they have to wait until DLC came out.
Because it looks really... I mean, the game looks really beautiful, doesn't it? Because I haven't played it, but you've
it's so lovely.
It.
When I finished it, I thought, it's maybe an hour too long. But it was really lovely, and I definitely want to check out more islands and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure how long it is. I think someone was saying it's... I mean, based on the game, maybe like an hour more. Because it's like 20 new Pokemon, so it's like not that much more, but...
I'll take an hour. It sounds like it might be a little longer than that, because there's a lot of replayability on those islands. But I've definitely sunk another hour or two into Pokemon Snap.
And it's free.
Yeah. Well,
so, can't complain. No complaints. But yeah, that's coming out on the 3rd of August, so this Tuesday. Not even that long, which is great. Let's move on. Nintendo Switch Online subscribers can now check out 2 Point Hospital for a free limited time as part of Nintendo of Europe's latest game trials. I think, when's it free? It's free now, I believe, or at least it's going to be soon, but it's free until the 8th of August, and then you get a 30% discount as well. So I would definitely check it out if you haven't played it. It's a really cool game.
It's so funny.
It's really funny. I really, really enjoy playing that game. And yeah, it's free. Why not? Give it a go. Let's keep moving, because let's keep talking about free games.
Ooh, I wonder if they've got touchscreen controls on the Switch. That would be excellent.
Yeah, that'd be. I think it does.
That would be brilliant.
Actually, I can't remember if I bought it on the Switch or not. I think it was the Switch, and I can't remember
Jonny,
if it's touchscreen.
It's on Game Pass.
There we are. It's free on Game Pass if you have it. £1 a month. That just blows me away. £1 for 3 months, even better. Let's talk about free games across 2 other consoles. Let's start with PlayStation. Now, I'm slightly disappointed with this one.
Me too.
Yeah. Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville.
The Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare games are really good.
Yeah.
I've not played this one, but they're actually really good.
Yeah, of the 3, this one looks the best. Tennis World Tour 2 has really terrible reviews.
I know, and I really want a good tennis
game. I love tennis games. I love
Bring
Mario.
Back Virtua Tennis.
Yeah, I love tennis games. Good tennis games. You get a lot of fun from them. But
I've
terrible
been
reviews.
Playing that Olympics game and just playing the tennis on there, I'm like, I need more than this. This isn't good enough, but I want this tennis. I want a tennis game.
Did you play Mario Tennis Aces?
No, I haven't.
It's actually really good. And also as well, it's one of those things where, and the same thing is happening with, I imagine the same thing is going to happen with the golf, is that if you buy and play Mario Tennis Aces now, you'll get like a full experience with all the added content, and it feels full and good. Whereas at the start, it just felt really shallow and empty. And I hate that Nintendo does that. But they're doing it again with Mario Golf, which sucks. But that's why I'm going to wait for Mario Golf. I'm probably going to wait like maybe 6 months to a year until I buy it. Wait till it comes on offer as well, because there's going to be more stuff available soon.
It'll still be there.
Exactly. So yeah, they've got PS5 has Hunter's Arena Legends, which is the most meh.
It's the most game name ever.
Yeah, I mean Hunter's Arena Legends.
Yeah,
Just that could be any game. That could be any game.
What game is it that has hunters in it? There's most games, but there's one game where like the characters are called hunters, and then Arena is like I could name 20 games right now that have Arena style. Legends, I'm like, you're making a battle royale with the word legends in the name.
It's great.
Come on,
it's great. To be fair, if me and you play it and think it's amazing, I'm gonna be like, okay, fair enough. We talking out of our asses, but I'm convinced that it's gonna be meh. Not even bad, just meh. I think that's what it's going to come down to for me. It just looks
meh is worse than that.
Meh is worse than bad. Meh is worse than bad. Because bad at least makes... Sometimes with bad, like, they just tried too much. But meh is like, it's just...
You remember bad.
Yeah,
you have an experience with bad.
Yeah.
With, like...
People ironically buy bad. People don't ironically buy meh.
No.
Play this really average game. Play this really shit game. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll play it.
Show me the jank.
And finally, we got the Xbox, Microsoft. 4 games are available today on Xbox Game Pass. There is some on Gold as well, but that's coming out in the next couple of weeks. We'll talk about those next week. So Lethal League Blaze, Omno, Project Wingman, and as we've already talked about, The Ascent.
Yeah.
I think The Ascent is the only one I'm really interested in, but it's
what
still...
was the first one?
Lethal League Blaze.
Sounds like Hunter's Arena Legends.
It's the Microsoft version of Hunter's Arena Legends.
But also, 2 days ago, and I haven't played it yet, but they also released Flight Simulator on Game
They
Pass.
did. Well, I'm going to talk about that as my in a little bit, because I have
nice.
I've been playing that a wee little bit. And speaking... Well, shall I just go into it? Because we're at games we've been playing. Should we just talk about games?
Yes, but quickly, one bit of bad/good news is Kena Bridge of Spirits got delayed into September.
Yeah, it did.
So my first PS5 game that I've bought is getting even pushed further back. But take the time you need to polish it.
It wasn't. How long was it? Was it moved
4
back?
weeks.
Oh, but that's fine. 4 weeks. 4 weeks to me makes it think like they just need a couple. Yeah, a couple of. It's like we just need a couple of weeks. Whereas like if it was like 3 months, I'd be like, this could be like. Pushing further. That's fine. Yeah, 4 weeks. I think that's fine.
Jonny, what have you been playing?
Well, actually, do you know what? I'm just going to run through 2 other. I finished Skyward Sword. Very happy. Wow. Yeah. Well, I had like 4 different bus journeys, and basically when I completed Skyward Sword on the Wii, it took about 35 hours. When I completed it on the Switch, it took about 25 hours. That's about as much. I would say that's probably how much they've condensed the game by.
Quality of life.
Yeah, I was saying to Zach last week, I don't know if you listened to last week's episode, but like honestly, the difference that it makes is unbelievable. I think John Cartwright from Nintendo Life did the opening section on the Wii, and then did it on the opening section where you can skip things on the Switch for speedrunners and such. It took him 2 hours on the Wii. It took him 15 minutes on the Switch, and that is kind of like the difference that being able to skip dialogue, skip scenes makes. So yeah, I said to him last week, and I'll stick by it this week. I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I just really enjoyed it. It stood up to what I remembered, which is the best you can say about a game that is 10 years old and has had a few tweaks. But it has kind of made the Wii version obsolete. Don't if you want to play this game, don't seek it on the Wii unless you're.
Which is what you want from a remaster.
That's all. It does the job. Yeah.
This is now the definitive version of this game.
Yeah, it is. It is the definitive version. I 100% it is. And it's really not as bad as people make out. Honestly, it really isn't as bad. There is some jank, but it's definitely just of its era. That's all. I was going to say very quickly. Then I jumped back into Desperados because because that Skyward Sword came out halfway through. I was playing Desperados, so jump back into that. I'm on the last level of that, so by next week I should have finished that. But I don't really want to talk about that. I want to talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator because wow, that game is impressive. That game is really impressive.
Yeah.
I haven't really played it. I think I played it for about 2 hours. I haven't really played it that much. But it's visually it's spectacular. It's genuinely spectacular. And
is it the best looking game you've ever played?
I can't say for sure it's one of the. I can't say for sure if it is the best looking game because sometimes there are a few things like doesn't look great.
Sure, like popping in.
Yeah, sometimes there is a lot of pop in, which is fair enough. Especially like when you're in a big. So I looked through London. So I was flying through London, and sometimes you get a little bit of pop in, which was like. Okay, that's fair enough. It's London. London's a very big... It's not just a condensed city. It's a big city. There's lots going on in London. I get that. But yeah, it's a beautiful game. I did... So basically, I try to find my house, try to find Rosie's house, and I try to find our current flat in London. And I found all three, and I was quite shocked at how accurate my house and the house we live in is.
Rosie, do you see yourself like in the shower?
I mean, it is. I saw it. No, I didn't, sadly. But it was crazy. It's really accurate. There's a couple of things that aren't, but apparently the process is amazing. But sometimes it can get a bit lost because they use all like genuine maps and stuff to actually try and map it out, which is incredible. But like for instance, sometimes it doesn't know when a stadium is a stadium unless they've specifically put it in. So for instance, the Millennium Stadium, or the Principality Stadium as it's called now, although it's always going to be the Millennium Stadium for me, in Cardiff, looks amazing because they've actually made it with detail. Whereas the Arms Park is. I think Allen's Park is fine as well because it's right next door, so I think they've included it. Whereas the Cardiff Football Stadium has the stadium outside, but the inside is grass. But grass is in like it has trees. It has so it looks like a stadium that's been left for about 20 years and things have started growing, and no one's kept it up to date inside. So that but that I can kind of forgive considering the huge job that they had on their hands. But it's genuinely amazing. Like I said, I played for about 2 hours. I flew from Cardiff Airport to Swansea Airport, the fabled Swansea Airport, in a little plane.
I didn't know Swansea had an airport until you said that.
Well, it's a tiny little it's like a training airport for like little tiny planes. And that was a lot of fun. Like I said, I was flying past like my town. And honestly, flying through Port Talbot was bloody hilarious. It really was so funny because it didn't have the steelworks. So I'm from Port Talbot. If you want to know what Port Talbot looks like, go online and you'll see a massive steelworks. That isn't there. It's like one of the most definitive things about the town. But everything else was pretty spot on. My house, my house is the exact house. The layout is genuinely spot on. I was so impressed, and the mountains are perfect. It was really impressive. Then I flew to where did I fly to? Malmesbury, and then I did a bit of London as well.
It just must be so mad because like I'm from Pontypridd as well, so like a little town, village kind of area, and just like it being in a video game.
Yeah.
Mad.
And the thing is as well is like I can understand Cardiff being in it because it's a big city, but like you say, Port Talbot, Pontypridd, these are small towns in a small country. It blows my mind when you think that they've done the majority of the world, or at least a lot of the world. You can fly over so many parts of the world, and it's there. It's incredible. It's genuinely incredible.
Updates as well.
Yeah, so I've downloaded a few updates. I downloaded there's the European one, there's the British and Irish one, there's a Japanese one, and there's a Scandinavian one. By European, it's like mainland Europe, so France, Germany, Italy, and Switzerland. And there's a Scandinavian one, and then there's a US one. And I downloaded all of those. I haven't done the US apart from New York, which was also amazing. But I was like, it's the city where Spider-Man is. It's Spider-Man PS5. This is the city. But again, that looks amazing as well. We flew past Statue of Liberty. Just incredible, man. Honestly, anyone that gets a chance to play it, just give it a go. Even if you want to play for 10 minutes, just type in somewhere you've always wanted to go, and it does a spectacular job for the most part. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. Anything got, Dev? Anything got for us?
Yeah. So, well, kind of. Like, more like updates, I guess. But I'm not sure if I ever mentioned that I played through Cat Quest.
No, you didn't, but I've actually got Cat Quest, and I know it's a decent game. Well,
it's a good game.
Yeah, it's good.
It's like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And, like, you get through it, and there's some nice puns in there, and the combat is decent, like, sort of like Zelda, Link Between Worlds kind of combat. And, yeah, it's just nice. I was just, like, underleveled going through the whole thing, managed to complete the game. Like,
yeah.
it had a nice little bit of challenge because of that. But yeah, it was just a nice game, and I think I picked it up for like £2, and £2 for like 3 to 4 hours of entertainment.
Yeah,
like, you can't really improve on that unless it's like £1 for 3 months of Game Pass. But yeah, that was a while ago. But I was looking through the games that I completed recently, and I was like, oh, I never mentioned that. I finished Dishonored 1.
Oh, nice. How was it?
It was good. Yeah, it was really good. I'm glad that I came back to it because when I first played it, I really bounced off it. I didn't like the feel of the controls of it, and I had the same issue with Prey, the 2018.
Oh yeah,
Prey,
yeah.
A few months ago now. But I thought, you know what? When they announced, well, it's actually just before they announced Redfall. I thought, I need to give that game another shot. Then they announced Redfall, and I was like, right. I really want to play that game. I know how it's going to feel to play, so I need to play through their old games so I can get comfortable with that and actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I did. I enjoyed Dishonored, really did. It didn't last too long, didn't overstay its welcome, and I instantly downloaded Dishonored 2 because it was on Game Pass.
Yeah.
So, you know, like...
So I can vouch for Dishonored 2. That is a really good game. And the lore is amazing as well. That's the thing I enjoyed the most. Just so much that happens in the world. It's great.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that, and the Death of the Outsider standalone DLC they released after Dishonored 2, and maybe one, and then by the time I ever get around to doing those, Deathloop will come out in Game Pass next year. So, so it was really good, and really enjoyed that, and just a little bit, I got my first platinum.
Oh, nice! In what?
My first platinum trophy, and it was the Tokyo 2020 Olympics.
Was there a specific thing you had to get to? Like, did you have to do something very specific, like break the world record for 100 meters or something?
Well, that was so easy.
Yeah.
This isn't a brag. I broke the world record for the 100 meters on my first time doing it.
Wow. Dab's not talking about the game, by the way. He's talking about real life.
Yeah. I was actually in Tokyo 2 days ago. I injured myself. I had to come back, so you won't see me in any of the coverage. But really fun game, really stupid game, and it's on PS Now. So you know, it's the first. No, it's not the first game on PS Now that I've completed, but it's the first game I've ever platinum trophied. But
yeah. I don't
still yet to hit a ball in baseball. Yeah, baseball's a weird one in the Olympics game. But that was the one that took me the longest time to win a gold medal on. But I did it eventually. But you don't need to win a gold medal in everything to get the platinum.
Right. Yeah, because that would be quite hard.
Well, most of the gold medals are actually really easy.
Are they really?
But some of them are weirdly hard. But yeah, so you need to win once, play once of all the different events. Then have to win 10 medleys, which you can make custom medleys that are only 2 events in a row. Right. So you could do 100 meters, 110 meter hurdles. Just do that over and over again if you wanted. You have to unlock everything. So actually really funny costumes, real fun costumes and hats. And you unlock, the more you play an event, you unlock tips. And they teach you mechanics of the game that they don't teach you first.
Yeah.
So you'll play through basketball 3 times because the first round, semis, and finals. And it'll be well, now you know the basics. If you want to learn more, how to shoot like this, you got to play again. And okay, I'll play again. But the good thing about that, though, is that they don't lock those things off from you. You can still perform those mechanics if you know them without learning the tips. But the BMX one was the one that was hardest without the tips. And then it was oh, actually, if you flick the right stick up when you're going down a hill, at the top of the down a hill, you get a little boost. And if you flick it down when you're going at the top of the hill, you get a little boost. And if you do this, you get an extra boost. And I was like, oh, right. Because I'd smashed the first round, smashed the semis, and I'd come 7th in the finals. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? How are they getting there? But yeah, no, really fun game, guys. Olympics, check it out.
Did you
Tokyo 2020?
Did you see the actual Olympics opening ceremony? They played all the video game music.
With all the video game music, yeah.
Nintendo was actually
halfway through it.
Really. I didn't get a chance to see it. I was out, but I came home. I was like, oh, well, that's amazing. Nintendo were actually supposed to be there, but they pulled out. Because there's not, some people in Japan really didn't want it to go ahead to let's not get involved with this. Whereas I think Sega and Square Enix basically use it all. It was really interesting hearing the Final Fantasy Victory fanfare being played. That was quite fun. But yeah, awesome. Anything else you got? Anything else you've been playing, Dav?
Bits and pieces. I've been playing a lot of FIFA actually.
Yeah.
But I'm playing through Judgment.
Oh
Just
yeah.
finished chapter 1, so I've done about 5 hours of that. Really enjoying it.
Man,
really
I'm really impressed how you're able to dip in and out of games. I'm definitely more of a I have to play a game and then complete it to move on. Like I struggle to get back into Desperados 3 just because I stopped playing it. It's so impressive because I just can't do it. I just can't do it.
The key is have one going on each system.
That's a good shout.
So I currently have Judgment on my PS5,
right,
and then I will have The Ascent on my Xbox.
Right, yeah, fair enough. Ooh, I have Drift on my PS5 controller.
Me too.
How bad is that?
A tiny amount, but it's there.
Yeah, I was playing PES. That's how I realized it because I mean, any game where you've got to use that controller so much, you notice it so much so quickly because your players will start running. You're like, what the hell? And yeah, I got Drift, and apparently you can do a few things to fix it. Otherwise, you've just got to send it off. I mean, do you have 2 controllers?
Nope.
I had to buy 2 controllers when I bought my PS5.
Oh,
so luckily I have a second controller. But yeah, I think that's how many months has it been? It's not even been a year. It's been
I've had mine since the end of February.
So I had mine November, so I only had mine 3 months before. But the fact that yours is going out, and that's unbelievably bad.
I realised mine went when I was playing God of War. Because they've got such a tiny dead zone on the right analog stick.
Yeah.
So I'd be walking, the camera would be like, over here. I'd be like, what is going on?
That's ridiculous.
It didn't happen with any other game except for that and Judgment, actually, a tiny bit. But apart from that, though, it's fine because it's such a tiny amount of drift, but it's still drift.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of drift, Nintendo, I mean, did you see that there was a little Joy-Con fix that people have been doing recently? Where,
the cardboard.
Yeah, if you stick a bit of cardboard behind, apparently it works. Apparently it really works. And to the point where Nintendo themselves have started adding little pads behind it on new Joy-Cons, which is their admission going, well, yeah, there is Joy-Con drift, and we now know what it was. I think, I say now know what it was. If they didn't know what it was, then that's bad, but at least they're trying to fix it now. I just can't believe it just comes down to a little tiny piece of cardboard. So I'm going to try it out. I've got my 2 oldest controllers. I'm just going to try them anyway because what am I going to lose? I can still send them off and get them fixed if I want to, but I'm just going to try it out on two of my oldest ones.
This Joy-Con, this one, these buttons have stopped working.
Really?
Something's gone on here because even when it's connected, so it can't connect by this way, so I can't play it like that.
Yeah.
And lights 1 and 4 don't work.
Wow.
So even when it's connected as a player 1, you won't see a light on it. So something in the circuitry somewhere along here has buggered up inside the controller, and
it's mad.
Yeah, no idea. I don't think they'll fix that. And I got it in 2017. So
yeah,
it's been over 4 years.
That's kind of where I'm at, especially with the oldest controllers. But it got to the point with Skyward Sword I had to borrow Rosie's because all of my Joy-Cons now have drift.
It's the motion controls.
Yeah, just because Rosie's don't have drift, so like, she has, because she never really used it. Not as much as me anyway. It is.
She looks after it as well.
Yeah, she looks after it as I throw mine around like a total wanker. But I'm gonna try the fix. I'm gonna see if it works. Maybe I'll try and do it by next week and give a report in. But apparently it does, and I'm kind of glad that there is at least a fix that anyone can just do. You just need a screwdriver and a bit of cardboard. Which is great. Dad, we're out of things. We're out of games. I mean, I think that's us. I think it's a very short episode this week, only about 45 minutes. Ooh.
You got a couple of quiz questions. Give me a couple.
Okay. Well, I'll give you. How about I give you 3 quiz questions, and then I'll give you the first 3. And
chat, make sure you're answering these as well.
So chat, join in because we'll do a couple of questions. And I'll see if
I'm going to sit here so I can't see the chat.
All right. This is actually a really interesting one, and you might get it. So 9 out of the 10 best-selling games of the 2000s, 2000 to 2010, were Nintendo products. Can you guess which game wasn't?
2000 to 2010.
Yes. So is it Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2? GTA San Andreas or Halo 3?
Say them again.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, GTA San Andreas or Halo 3?
You know what? Modern Warfare 2 sold absolute stonking amount. But then the Xbox 360, but then Modern Warfare 2 was on that as well, and I got to go Modern Warfare.
That's actually in last place of the three. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I think the reason why is because it came out so close to the end of 2000 of the decade.
Oh, right, okay.
So Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 sold 8.8 million. Halo 3 sold 10.7 million. And GTA San Andreas sold 18.
Because it came out so early.
Because it came out so early. I think it came out in 2004, I want to say.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to read out the top 10. Pokemon Diamond/Pearl on the DS, 17 million. Pokemon
How
Gold.
many of these are Pokemon games? Yeah, go on.
Pokemon Gold Silver, 18. GTA San Andreas in 8th place on 18. Brain Age, 18.7.
Nice.
Mario
Brain
Kart.
Age, not
Just Brain Age. It says, yeah, it just says Brain Age here.
Brain Age. Oh, is that the Dr. Kawashima?
I think that's the same one. Yeah. Mario Kart Wii 20.71. New Super Mario Bros. DS 20.92. Wii Fit 22. Nintendogs 23. Wii Play.
That's not fair. There are so many different Nintendogs games.
Wii Play 26 and Wii Sports 58, but obviously Wii Sports came free with it.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we forget just how much Nintendo dominated that decade, even with the GameCube not being very good.
They dominate every decade.
It's ridiculous.
Every other company has like one or two games. Nintendo were like, bleh.
All right, let me give you a different question. I won't go through them all, but I'll give you a different question. Ooh, here's a good one, because I was going to do this for all of you, but you know what? I'm just going to give it to you, Dav, because you're a big fan. List as many colours as you can that make up Sonic the Hedgehog. Each one you get right will be worth half a point. And one hint, he has a very specific eye colour. I'm going to see if you can get all of them. I'm not going to tell you how many there are.
Okay.
But you go for it.
Blue, white, black, red.
Blue, white, black, red. Is that your final offering?
No.
Okay, cool.
There's like a light tan, brown colour for his arms, legs, and body. I'm going to say that.
What I would say is I've included.
One or two.
So you said blue, white, black, and red, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. White I included for the tan thing because it was so close to it. So I've included that. So you've got that anyway.
Are there two left or one left?
There's two left.
I'm going to go yellow and brown.
Okay. So here we go. There are 6. You got 5 out of 6. But Big Al has got the eyes bang on. It's blue fur, white fur gloves and part of the shoes, green eyes, green pupils, yellow buckle, black nose, and other bits. Red shoes. That's it. 6.
Green eyes.
Yeah, green eyes. I never would have thought of that. I never would have thought of the green eyes if I was just going off the top of my head. All right, I'll ask you this last question. Anyone can join in as well. Tennis for Two is widely considered to be the oldest video game in the world. It was the very first computer game created solely for entertainment rather than for academic research, and was developed by American physicist William Higginbotham. But which year did it release? I'm not going to give you an answer. I just want you to throw an answer out and see who can get the closest.
1977.
1977. Anyone else in chat? Give me a number. Throw a number out. Any year. It's the very first video game.
Oh, maybe 76? It was definitely in the 70s. But then was that Pong? And then Tennis for Two is what it was called first, and it was released earlier, maybe like 74?
WrestleMania 2001. Very close. A Space Odyssey.
Wait, Tennis for Two, isn't that on like PlayStation Network's games of August?
yeah, pretty much. Play's just as bad. All right, I'll give everyone like 20 seconds, but yeah.
1986 from Big Al.
1986. Okay. So the answer, Dav, I mean, you are closest to it, but you're 20 years out. 1958. It was made for computer. And it was released.
The little circle screen.
It was the little circle screen, and it was basically people could buy it, but it was like very expensive.
Yeah.
But it was basically just this one guy, and he would show it to his mates, which is unbelievably early.
And then they released it as Pong in the 70s.
Yeah.
And I need to have a look at what year it was to satiate my depravity.
Which year was Pong?
Pong.
Whilst Dav is finding that out, we'll
72.
72. It's mad. It's
Yeah.
mad. But yeah, we'll close down the podcast there. I think that's where we'll go. But that we're closing it down. Just so many things. Just can't go on. That's the end of podcast number 62, though. Thank you so much for watching and listening to us today. Apologies for the start. Don't know what happened there. Anyone watching and listening, you won't know because you weren't watching us on Twitch. But for those that did,
because we just apologized.
Yeah, we just apologized. They won't know what happened. But thank you to everyone that did stick around. Just those things. Just happens. Just happens. We have a Patreon page which you can go follow us on. We have some things over there which you can watch if you become a patron, which I would recommend. Hall of Fame. There's definitely a new one coming soon. We have a Discord. You can go and join that. It's free entry. Lots of lovely people. And like I said, we're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all those things. Just go and seek us out. And if you don't want to, that's totally fine. Just have a lovely day. I think that's it. Should we end the podcast there, Dav?
Yeah, have a lovely day.
Have a lovely day, everyone. And we'll see you soon. Ahoy!
Tatty bye!